We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
They used to jam in the center.
No.
Hey.
No, that's not correct.
Hey. Shh. Kim? My mic was muted. Okay. What's up, everybody? Boy, the Veep in the building. Daps to you. How's everybody doing?
What's going on? What's going on?
Wait a minute. Who the heck let him in the building?
Yo, man. You know, sometimes I gotta bust in his bad boy like the Hulk, let him know I'm still part of the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. See, I knew you my boy for something. I don't know the reason why, except for this right here. See, we always on that same
For
level.
some reason.
Then I want to strangle you something.
Now, when the day comes,
we be on the same way.
when the day comes that I'm coloring my hair, then we're gonna be right there.
Hey man, yo, man, do you, bro? Do whatever you want to do, however you want to do it.
Hey, Sharita, you can hear us okay? She's gotten some technical issues, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get the background music going. For those that don't know, both D-Ray and Sharita are both producers. I got you, Sharita. Both D-Ray and Sharita are producers here. And they decide every week to do their own flavor. So Sharita is dropping her song this weekend. And the name of this one is called Hail Mary. And it's not like a Hail Mary pass, but Hell. So she got her reasons.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, that's Sharita's joint right there. Hey, Sharita, did you have any significance behind the name of that and the creation of that song?
I don't think she can hear us,
Yeah,
bro.
she got it low. I can't hear you, man. Sharita? All right, let me see. The network's not being favorable to her. One more. All right, let's see. I'm gonna let her know to hop out and then pop back in. Okay. All right. So yeah, as she gets that figured out, everything's good, man. Hey, it's another Friday night again. This week went by quick.
Not quick enough, but we made it.
That part. And our guest should be swinging in soon. So
Yeah, that track is smooth. I like that.
It said I had her muted. Okay. And you have a 10-second delay. Yeah, I don't have you muted. Okay.
Well, anyway, while we're working that out, for the uninitiated, we got V. I am D-Ray, the producer, and we have the one and the only president of Blast Media LLC, president of Blast Music 247, president of Blast the Gray. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyway, Chief Rock is in the building. What's good, bro?
It's all good, man. But you already know what they say. Haters gonna hate, ballers gonna ball, rollers gonna roll. So it's all good over here, bro. It is all good. Appreciate y'all.
That is not what I. That is not. I have not heard that before, but
can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a delay, but I can hear you.
Okay.
We'll take what we can take. So, Sharita, can you tell the people why you created the song Hail Mary? Like, what was the reasoning behind it, if you will?
I was just in a period of time where I was making beats every day. I was trying to do the Kanye West, one beat, was it? I don't know what he said, but like a beat a day or 5 beats a day for summer. Mm-hmm. And I was just really in full effect with that. That was like 2016, 17, 18.
The track is lovely. I love it. So, yep. Heading forward. Shoot. So, D-Ray, you were telling us a little bit about the amazing, would you say, accolade or acknowledgement. Now, why are you muted, sir?
We just having a time tonight, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, in the state of North Carolina, there is legislation that to make P.D. Pablo's North Carolina Stand Up the official hip hop song of North Carolina. And, that's a huge accolade. That'll be a huge thing. Here's the article from Exos. North NC bill would name official state hip hop song P.D. Pablo. My only question was, well, what's the competition? Because as far as I know, P.D. Pablo's song is the only one that actually rep North Carolina.
Yeah,
so,
there's
a lot of MCs from North Carolina.
His grandfather and my grandfather are brothers.
So that means y'all cousins.
Yeah. And he's always been musical. So shouts out to him,
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Veep, I don't know what's going on. I feel like we all on a delay right now.
Yeah, it's definitely struck.
Yeah, it's going a little bit slow. Something is slow today. But
oh well.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know any other songs that are actually mentioned in North Carolina. So yeah, it's a good choice. It's been since 2001 is when he actually came out with it. And 24 years later, they want to make it the official song. The official hip hop song. My only question is, what are the other genres of songs also that they're trying to make, be like official? Is it official blues? Is it official jazz? Is it official rock? Official R&B? I'm just trying to see it, but it's all good.
I have one more tidbit. Natalie Murdoch. She is my best friend's cousin. She's the one that proposed the bill for that. It's funny. Shouts out to Tasha Adams. She just hit me up today and told me her cousin was the one that posed the legislation for that. So, being that she's a woman of color, it was only fitting to think about a song that would, identify with music that we all embrace. Everybody knows that song across all color lines in this state. So it was just a universal thing,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
To answer your question, Chief Buck, if we were to vote for the North Carolina official jazz song, we would really have a problem because we have at least 3 jazz giants that are from North Carolina. Nina Simone was born in Tryon, North Carolina. John Coltrane was born in Hamlet and grew up in High Point, North Carolina. And Thelonious Monk grew up was born in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So we have had a lot of the giants of music here. You know what I mean? So who knows what song they would choose.
Okay. So let me see here. We've talked about a lot of things in the recent chats of the center.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask about this. Has sampling become lazy, or is it a love letter to the culture?
I don't know if sampling has become lazy, but it's only so many things you can sample. Like, from the early 80s up to the 90s, you had 50s, 60s, 70s rock, some 80s, whatever. Now here we are some 30, 40 years later, dudes are sampling the sample. And it's just like, I don't know about that,
Yeah, that made me hurt the other day.
So.
Kendrick Lamar, I thought it would throw some D's on it coming on the radio, but Kendrick Lamar didn't.
Oh, and Veep, we have a guest in the green room.
I didn't see him on the other.
Yeah, so okay. I don't think that is lazy. I just actually see it as one of the holdovers from the early days of hip hop. He's been around even when they was just jacking beats and wasn't paying no one for nothing. Just like, hey, I'm just gonna use your sound because didn't no one even know what sample was and no one getting paid. So I just see it as a holdover from like back then, which is probably one of the only holdovers from the like early days of like hip hop, because all of the other elements are gone except sampling.
Yep.
So like I said, I don't know if it's lazy, but people just keep on coming up finding creative ways to actually do something. Because I'm telling you, that dang If This World Was Mine, they did that. I'm talking about when it come on, you swear that loop, coming on, and then the thing you hear is Kendrick. You're like, hey,
yeah.
All right. I like that.
Hey, Sharita, what did you feel about that question?
I mean, me personally, I look at sampling as a love letter to music, because for someone like me, that's the reason I sample. Whether it's Duran Duran or Ben Folds 5 or Def Leppard. I mean, I've sampled each of these artists that I've named respectively. And it's because I just like the sounds that was in the song, and I took those sounds and created another sound. So I don't think it's necessarily lazy. I think it's a love letter.
Bet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in one of our guests. We're still waiting for the main guest. So, Juice, the witch doctor, you there, my brother? This is tonight for technical difficulties, yeah?
We have the time this boy.
Boy, okay. No worries. We'll wait. So, like, it's fucking... Go ahead. You go ahead, Rock.
on the like LL on the LL Cool J Rock the Bells radio. He has a like segment on there called Salute the Sample, and every time that it comes on, I have to listen to it because I want to know, how they flipped them beats, them little chords or them beats from them songs that be back in the 60s and 50s, and they flipped that, and he's like, oh damn, that's where I heard that from, and that, I love it. That's one of the best segments that he got on there is Salute the Sample.
What's going on, Juice? Are you there, brother?
Like he's caught in the Matrix.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a tough time, especially if it's on mobile. It's even harder. So, is flipping a classic beat still creative in 2025, or
Heck yeah.
are artists relying too heavily on nostalgia?
Well, here's the problem with nostalgia.
Nope.
If people are sampling and don't run out of stuff to sample, there is no more nostalgia. I mean, like literally, how many times can you sample More Bounce to the Ounce? How many times can you sample Funky Drummer? How many times can you sample Parliament Funkadelic?
No doubt,
yeah, he did. And so no, you have to have creative beats. You have to have somebody that, and even in the age of AI, you got to have somebody creative to even have prompt engineering enough to tell AI what to make, or else it's going to spit out something everybody's already heard. So, yeah, no.
I got you.
What you think, Sharita?
I'm happy with sampling. I find it enjoyable because you can really create. You can just really create. I don't even use a lot of the plugins and stuff that everyone's using. I mean, the most thing that I will use is a compressor or a panoramic EQ or a multi-level EQ. I want to bring back the sounds the way that they are. Like I sampled Toto, Africa, one time.
Nice.
And it was totally left field from the track, but I used the flute and the hook and the bridge. I think sampling can do no wrong, honestly.
I disagree on that.
It's gonna pay everybody. If my song I don't get permission to use it initially, kind of like Smokey Robinson said, somebody's gonna get paid eventually if there's enough units of it sold, and the person that sampled it should not have any problem giving money up to the originator. It's a head nod to someone's.
I disagree 1,000%. Number one, the court case with Nicki Minaj and Tracy Chapman sort of killed it for bedroom producers, because now you can't even sample at home without permission. So that's number one. If you're in violation, even if you rip a sample and you're just using it for yourself. That court case set precedent that we can't even do that now. That's number one. Number two, and not you, Sharita, because Sharita, you have a musical pedigree, but there are some people who sample and they try to use it in lieu of learning music theory, in lieu of learning their craft. And the one thing that I really despise is somebody that has a cheap laptop and a stolen copy of Fruity Loops, and they're calling themselves a producer. No, you're not, because you don't know your craft enough to call yourself anything. And so, call me what you want to call me, but there is a line, and there is a limit. And as far as like the person that sampled it shouldn't have a problem getting paid, well, ask Arrested Development, do they have a problem with a dead man collecting royalties off of their biggest song ever.
Wow.
Ask the estate of Bismarck E. Ask all of these rappers who shoot. If somebody want to put some money on his books, somebody asked Diddy how he feel about having to pay Sting forever.
Ever.
Forever.
Sting making grips. And Sting making millions of dollars a freaking year off of that food, man.
Some people do it just to get the attention of mainstream artists to be in the news with their name in the same article.
Yeah, but see, you don't want that kind of smoke because see, that's a gamble. Because, like, for example, when Lil Nas X jacked that beat off of SoundCloud for Old Town Road, right? And in the end, did it sell?
He paid for that, right?
He paid $40 for. He didn't pay for an exclusive license. He just paid $40 for a license, right? At the end of the day, when the song did it win Grammys? Yeah. Did it sell millions? Yeah. How many writers was on it? About 40. Right? About 40. And somebody fact check it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Somebody fact check it, because every time that you sample from someone and you don't know where they got that sample from, that person that sampled it, they don't know where they got the sample from. And then the next thing you know, you got 40 dudes splitting 0.0047 stream every time it gets streamed.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, that part. So,
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is definitely a slippery slope. I don't agree with like anyone taking anyone's intellectual property and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna sell it, I'm gonna make money of it, and then you should be happy about it. Because a lot of times that you took it from are not happy about it, and then we all know as people that have been in families and that have friends that when money starts to roll in, they don't want to get that damn money up, and then they got to go to court just to make them give the money up, because that's one thing that I don't care what color you are or what race or what creed or what religion, when money starts coming in, people have a big time problem giving it up, and that's why it's all these agencies that are out there now that will help you, clear that sample. And most of the time, if it's cleared, because it's a record that have not been out there for a while and no one's listened to it or heard it, and now they're gonna make money off of it, and people will start hearing it like, let me hear where that sample came from. So now that song's back out there in the public again. Just gotta do it right. That's all. If I can create a freaking sampling licensing covering company, I damn sure will. You know how to do that, D-Ray?
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely talk about it, but see, here's the problem. A lot of times people come into this business, and it's not just hip hop, but it's especially hip hop. You come into this business and you're not prepared for the investment that you have to make in this business. And you kind of think that everything should be either free or accessible, and you're not prepared for it. So you could come in and think it's a love letter that you sampled a Motown song that nobody has heard since 1977.
Pharrell.
Well, that right there. Blurred Lines with Robin Thicke and Pharrell.
Yeah.
And now here's a crazy thing about that. Pharrell been making hits for what, 20, 30 years? The Marvin Gaye estate, for the uninitiated, if you don't know, a few years back, there was a lawsuit. It was the estate of Marvin Gaye versus Pharrell and Robin Thicke and all of those folks for sampling Well, they didn't really sample it. They used a interpolation, which is kind of a derivative of a sample. So let's say if you're listening to Sharita's track right now, you hear that guitar. Dun, 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 dun. You hear that? So instead of sampling it, I go on my synthesizer and I find that melody and I play it, right? So I didn't sample it, but I use a derivative interpolation of her sample, right? Well, in court, the court sees that as a sample. And wherein Marvin Gaye's estate told them it was going to be $100,000. What Pharrell and them did, they sued Marvin Gaye's estate first as a preemptive strike to not be sued for copyright infringement for the song. I mean, it's just crazy, you know? $100,000, you wouldn't even have that problem. Now, Blurred Lines done probably generated anywhere close to $50-100 million, and guess how much they got to see it at?
Oh, goose egg.
You know?
Wow.
So, and for me, I just want to see creative. I just want the creativity to come back. That's what I miss in hip hop. If we take a time machine back to either 88, 1998, shoot, even 2008, we had more variety. We had, you know, you did have the gangster, you had the West Coast, you had hip hop jazz, you had trap, you had all of these different versions and these different styles that you can kind of get in where you fit in. Well, now everybody's trying to sound the same. And Veep and I, we use a joke because, you know, we program for Blast Radio 247, which is available on Live 365, everybody, by the way. We program and we joke around how, you know, we get people in foreign countries that maybe they all bought the same beat and the entire village decided to use that one beat.
Right.
And it's a joke, but it's really not a joke because people do that all the time, you know? And so I just want that creativity back. And if it means we need to, you know, pause on all the crazy sampling, then let's pause on it and figure it out. So
that part. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna go ahead and do our way back jam. Our guest is still having issues logging in, but it is what it is. I'm gonna tell you, I'm excited about sharing this way back jam because this is one of those jams that, you know, you remember, you appreciate, and this is Camp Low, the Lucci. Yeah, now it's Camp Low. They remind me of an Outcast 2.0 or something like that.
Well, they were the prototype Outcast, number one, but number two, y'all ready to feel bad?
What's up?
That came out 28 years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
28 years ago. I hear that song and I am immediately transported back to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Shout out to the 49ers. Man, that song takes me back for real.
Indeed. Oh man, so Sharita, I think, got kicked out. But question, would you say the concept of the classic album is now dead because of the streaming era?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Gone, bye-bye.
Absolutely.
It's out of there.
Absolutely. And because like right now we have a generation that don't have an attention span. We have a generation of people who have and this is actually social media managers, we kind of measure it. The attention span of the average person right now is right around 6 or 7 seconds. If you ain't got them in 6 or 7 seconds, you've lost them for good. And so imagine trying to get somebody to listen to an hour and a half of music that they've never heard of you. You know what I mean? And
now,
yeah, go ahead.
Now, if the if the whole industry hadn't gone to just streaming, and no one knew about streaming, and the record labels are signing people to more than just one single deal, which is crazy. You never heard of a one single deal, but now they're bringing out one single deal to see if you can make money off of this one single, and if so, they bring it back for like something. It is absolutely crazy. But if that was never introduced, if this whole new system of just streaming would have never happened, we still wouldn't have known anything except for albums. All the way back to 8 tracks. If you had an 8 track that had 8 to 9 songs on it, and you sat there and you had to punch it up through a freaking 8 track and then a day cassette, and then record and then CD, you would have still been doing it.
Wow.
But as always, we have an industry that's like, why am I spending all this damn money on some songs that ain't no one to hear? So let me go ahead and say, okay, we're just gonna make this a singles industry. You put one out there, if it's good, we might put another one out. But if you can, especially in hip hop, you can sit there right now and think of artists that had one banging hit for 1 year, and you ain't heard nothing else from them again. I mean, that just don't ever happen, or that didn't used to happen. If you had a hit single, they wanted something else out there, but they don't want to pay the money to promote it. They don't want to do anything. They want you to just throw it on Spotify, throw it what on whatever. If it sells or if it streams a lot, cool. They're not losing absolutely nothing. I mean, losing any money, bro. I mean, the way the industry set up now.
The way that it's set up, you're absolutely right, because number one, there is no development deals anymore. So you got to come in as an already finished product. And number two, the upside is that now the way that the industry is set up, one song can make you about as much money as an album used to make a record company back in the day. However, it's gonna be one song, right? And so think about how much money Old Town Road that we talked about. How much money did that generate? How much money did any song that Beyonce has released, or I'm trying to think. Oh, Kendrick, Not Like Us. How much has that generated? It's generated so much. We're tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
Right? And they're talking about him being like in the Olympics with it. So the way that I remember this, I'll tell this story because my best friend always gives me crap about this. 1989, High Point, North Carolina. Of course, I had my favorite record store that was right around the corner from my house. Family Stand had just came out with Ghetto Heaven, which was one of my favorite songs of all time. And I was working at a drugstore. I saved up my money to get, and they only had the CD. I was hoping they had like a cassette or a cassette single. They only had the CD, so I had to break down and pay $20 for this CD, only to find that the song that I actually liked was the last song on the CD. And everything, I had to listen to everything else to figure out there was only one song on that CD that I liked.
Dang, I hate that.
And you know what I mean? And it's that in and of itself is what started the singles revolution, because people stopped caring about putting albums together. Think about this. What's the last hip hop record that y'all can say that y'all can put on from start to finish with no skips?
Outkast.
For me, Outkast, yeah. And even though, and everybody, don't hold Chief Rocker. You know, we don't judge on the center. We might look at him sideways, but we don't judge. So when he said that he didn't really get down with Guru and Black Star in the green room, I just kind of looked at him funny.
Gangstar.
But you know, we ain't gonna judge. But Guru's Jazzmatazz Volume 1, start to finish. It's very, very rare that I have a hip hop record that I could put on from start to finish.
I can do. NWA. I could do Outkast. But after that, it'd be hip hop albums. It is hard to like think of one that can go all the way. Probably 8 Ball, MJG's. Shit, I forgot the album. The one that had shown up on it with like Tila. That one was off the chain. You know, I could listen to all of that. But yeah, but today, I'm sorry to say it, that is not the case at all. At all. If someone has like a compilation of songs that are out there that they're called an album, it's no way possible. Plus, how are albums being streamed? Beyonce has an album. Taylor Swift has an album. Kendrick Lamar has an album. How are those albums being streamed? Because people are not, they're still just doing the singles off the album that they like, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Those artists that you just named, all of them were established when they still had merchandise, when we still had CDs. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, the first K Dot record would have been what, 2009 maybe, 2008, somewhere around in there. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking
something like that.
Beyonce, late 90s, early 2000s with Destiny's Child. Taylor Swift been around forever. The moral of the story is you have established people and they have established fan bases that's going to listen to everything that they come out with. If you are an independent artist and you're just starting out, it's hard to get people to pay attention, if they don't know you. And so you have to figure out creative marketing ways to get in the algorithm so that the algorithm will recognize you. But as far as like full albums, I would never recommend someone doing a full album now because it's almost a waste of money. And you're not going to see a return on that album.
Unless they self-produce and self-engineer or something.
And can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead. No, he in the Matrix now too.
Boy, it is a night.
All right. So like I said, the record labels know because they don't have to put all the money up front in the studio time and all this stuff here. Just give me one song. If the one song hit, hey, we'll run this bad boy back. The one song don't hit, you're out of there. I mean, artists have to understand that this music industry thing has actually changed, and the way Spotify pays them now, especially the independent artists, because they stop paying the independent artists unless they have 1,000 streams, bro. How many damn artists out there they don't have no dang 1,000 streams because no one even know about them before they even get anything. They have.
And think about that. Think about that for just a second. You put an album out right now, and like he said, for real, times are changing. Times have changed. Because at the end of the day, you put out an album with 10 songs. Guess what? That album got to stream 1,000 times before you even get a part of the streaming royalty. And with Spotify, they have a free model and they have a paid model. And guess what? The royalty rates are different. So you could have a Snoop Dogg that goes, platinum on Spotify and only gets $3,000 to $6,000. Unfortunately, that's the business now.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out how to leverage that and how to not rely solely on streaming. Because if you and then keep also in mind, and Chief, you know this as well, with your marketing background, it takes anywhere from 6 months to 2.5 years to get somebody to listen to one song.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
Yep. And if you just say, you know what, I'm just gonna just take my song, stick it on Spotify, that big ass ocean of water. I always say it's like a drop in the ocean. If no one knows that your stuff is there, you're just a drop in the ocean that's swimming on a fish's butt. That's about it. You on the butt, now you're off the butt.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Because no one knows that like you are there in that ocean unless someone happens to find you in that ocean.
That's actually for real. And you know, and if people don't have your songs properly encoded, you don't have it done wherein all of the stuff is where it needs to be, guess what? Spotify has, and you guys can Google this, Spotify has what is called a black account. And the black account has millions of dollars in it. And it is money that Spotify has generated from music that was not properly encoded. That they would pay you if they knew how to find you.
That part.
You know,
Yeah.
I like Pocket Cash to me.
yeah. Snoop pulled out a major label. Yeah, he did, and they're trying something. They're trying something new. The only issue is you can't duplicate that as an independent. Snoop been in the game since 1991.
Mhm.
The same people that Snoop was entertaining in 91, 92 are the MAGA voters today. So at the end of the day, yeah, I said it, the MAGA voters. And so, yeah, he has enough market share that just like Prince did in the late 90s, if you got enough market share, you got enough super fans, you can pull your stuff off major platforms and they'll follow you. But look how long it took for him to establish that audience. I don't think the average person could do that unless you had some kind of gigantic super buzz that people were talking about over and over and over again. You know?
Yeah. Or if
last,
or if you just gotta
go ahead.
just say you just got a like big paycheck for like performing at some inauguration or something, and you just want to spend that money on. But I ain't gonna go that out. I ain't gonna go that out. You ain't heard that from me.
Hey, Kev, first of all, yeah, the pause, that's funny, bro. Like Sharita said before, Redman had only 55,000 streams, which is absolutely nuts. Pause. That's what happens when you go independent.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people don't realize that Spotify and all these other places, they don't play fair. They have, you know, what the lawsuit with Drake and K. Dot showed us is that the industry cheats on itself, and it cheats for itself by itself. So the industry will sit there and buy bots to inflate numbers. The industry will sit there and set a different royalty rate than the average person will get, but then crucify an independent artist for doing the same thing. You know.
All I know is that Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest said this. When he said industry people are shady, he was 1,000% right. So
right.
It's just always have been, always will
be. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll close it out with this. Who is running hip hop right now? The lyricists, the influencers, or the algorithm? Who do you guys feel it is?
The algorithm.
Mm.
And the algorithm is the dragon that the influencers ride to help publicize the artist. Because right at this very moment, you need an influencer for what? To trick the algorithm. It's not even about the music anymore. There was a band a few years ago that tripped up the algorithm on Spotify, and they released a 10-song album. Each song was 30 seconds, and it was 30 seconds of nothing. It was no music. It was just 30 seconds of nothing, right? But by the time Spotify had caught up with it, it had been streamed like almost 1 million times. You know what I mean? And so what it proved is that with influence, you can trick that algorithm into thinking, oh, this must be somebody. And it's really, really sad, in my opinion, that it's just like when teachers teach for the test. It's really, really sad, because you're missing a whole thing, and people are not coming out educated. And in this music industry, it's just ugh, with that.
Yeah, it is a dirty industry. Always has been a dirty industry, and it's not for the faint of heart. It is definitely not for those artists that are like, you know what, I want to come in, I'm going to automatically be a star because I'm seeing all these videos and people blinging and stuff. They don't know all that stuff is going back to whatever store, whatever shop, whatever car lot, whatever that they got it from. That's where that stuff is like going back to. They're not making that money. Okay, people don't understand what an advance is anymore. I mean, are they giving advances anymore on like singles? I honestly don't know if a record label is giving anyone a major advance to come out with.
They are, but think about this: the advance is $10,000. Now let's do some quick.
And that means you get nothing.
Let's do some. Hold on.
Zero, bro.
Let's do some quick math. Your advance on one song is $10,000. It takes you 1.5 to 2 million streams to make $10,000.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not making any sense. This is the industry that like we all love, but it's the industry that like we're also trying to change, because we know that the industry, especially for independent artists, is stacked, bro. It is 1,000% stacked. All of us in here are black men, and I bet you every one of us come from a different state. I bet you all of our parents once said you already have the deck stacked against you. One, you're black, and two, you're a man. All of us have heard this from our parents, and we live in 3 different states. Okay, it's the same thing with independent artists. It is stacked against y'all, especially right now. It is stacked. Y'all need to start using your brain and not just thinking, well, okay, people are gonna like me because my parents like me or my friends like me. You got to do something. Okay, if there's stuff that is out there, you need to try to use it and be like, well, okay, I don't want to spend because they just want to just take my money. Then stay exactly where you are, because no one is going to know that you're there if you're willing to actually let people know that you're there.
Yeah, you can't even get hood famous without a plan these days.
Nope.
That
Ain't no more selling out the back of the trunk. You can't stream out the back of your trunk. You can't do too short. You can't go around selling your albums out of your trunk. Ain't no one trying to download stuff from your links. That is just not happening that way, people. And if they download your link, you're still not getting paid. You're giving your music away, because now they're just downloading your song for whatever from
for the free.
Or whatever. Straight up free.
So listen, family. We were supposed to have guest Kaiju and even Juice the Witch Doctor's producer. I don't know what's going on. It seemed like we had glitches, but I'll definitely work on getting him in the near future. But before we head out, make sure you take the time to go ahead and go to the blastradio247.com, our radio station that plays independent music all around the globe. The QR code is there. You can scan it right there, and it'll bring you directly to blastradio247.com, the champion of indie music right there. And also, for all you independent artists, apply right here. The QR code is there where you can register to Blast, as well as you fans that love to hear great independent music. You too can also register. There's a QR code, and it'll bring you to blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time. So I apologize. I don't know what technical issues was up. Even Sharita got booted. The Gremlins was on their attack tonight. But again, we worked something out. What's up?
Hey, in this business, man, you know, we don't make any apologies, because if you're in this business, you know, it's not a question of if something is going to happen. It's when. You know, we're just going to pivot and do what we do, bro.
Yeah, I feel you. Murphy in full effect.
Fact.
So, look, excuse me. So definitely, please come back next week. We hope for it to be a better week. And as we always say, it's like Rakim says, it ain't where you from, it's where you at. So always keep it at the center. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us, and we'll see y'all next week. Y'all be easy.
They used to jam in the center.